Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel ServiceNow Universe. Hope you all are doing well. Today in this session, we'll discuss about configuration items, CI relationships, CI relationship types, suggested relationships, and at the end we'll see how to create the CI relationships using CI relationship editor and using the script and using the suggested relationships in the script. Okay, first let's see what are configuration items. Okay, if we go by definition, then definition is this: a configuration item, in short, that is called as CI, is any service component, infrastructure element, or other item that needs to be managed in order to ensure the successful delivery of services. Okay, so what it means is software is also a configuration item, hardware is also a configuration item. Okay, so let's go to tables, sysdb object list. Okay, so what I'll say is I'll open Windows Server, for example. So we can see Windows Server here. Windows Server is a table, so this is the table CMDB CI Windows Server. Okay, now that extends server. Okay, server is a table. Now that server table is CMDB CI server, and now that table extends computer. Server is nothing but a computer. Okay, so when we open the computer table, so we can see computer extends hardware table. Okay, and when I open hardware, so we can see hardware extends configuration item, and configuration item is nothing but CMDB CI table. Okay, so this way Windows Server is also a configuration item. Okay, same way all the tables, all the child tables which extends configuration item, so all those are called as configuration items. Okay, now to see the configuration items, we can open the table CMDB CI dot list. Okay, so these are all the configuration items present here. Okay, now we can group by class to see what is that class. Okay, for example, Windows servers, if you want to see, then I can see the Windows servers here. There are 8 Windows servers in configuration items list. Okay, so we can group by class to see uh, the configuration items, different configuration items. Okay, now let's see what are CI relationships. As the name itself suggests, CI relationships are nothing but relationships between two configuration items. Okay, let's understand that with an example here. Okay, let's see. I'll add one box here as person A. I'll say person A, and I'll add one more box here, that is person B. Okay, now I'll say person A is father. Okay, and person B is child. Okay, for example, person B is child. Now how we'll define the relationship here? So it is like okay, now A is what we'll say, father of B. A is father of B, and the other way is uh, B is child of A. Okay, okay, now we have here father, child, and relationship between these. So and now in service, now these will be replaced with this is replaced with parent. Parent is a field and child is a field, and this relationship is replaced with the field called type. Okay, type. And how this is now how this relationship is denoted, so let me just add it here. So it will be denoted like this: father of, then two colons, and then child of. Okay, so let me just, so it will be like this is the relationship type between A and B. Okay, it means A is father of B and B is child of A. Okay, so this is about relationships. So let me just go to the table. The table is CMDB rel underscore CI. Okay, so when I go here, so we can see there is a field called parent and there is a field called child. Okay, now these two fields are referring to configuration items. Okay, let me just go to table. Okay, so we can see child and parent both are referring to configuration item. Okay, and there is a one more field called type that is referring to CMDB relationship type. So let's see that there is a third field called as type, and we can see here members, then colon colon member of. Okay, now how we'll read this? This is the parent, for example, Windows cluster members, then storage D4. Storage D4 is member of this. Okay, so we can read it like this. Okay, now if we open the relationship type, Okay, so we have two things here. One is parent descriptor and second one is child descriptor. Okay, in our example, parent descriptor is father of and child descriptor is child of. Okay, so here in this, parent descriptor is members and child descriptor is member of. Okay, so this is how the relationship type is defined. Okay, so now we have covered CI relationships and CI relationship types. Okay, now before going to suggested relationships, that is very important. So let's create one CI relationship here. Okay, CI relationship. So in our example, what we will do is we'll consider two tables. One is CMDB CI server dot list, and another table is CMDB CI circuit. Okay, dot list. Okay, okay, circuit. Okay, okay. Now if I go to the table here, circuit table, so we can see that is extending configuration item. Okay, so circuit is nothing but a configuration item. Okay, and we have already seen all the servers are extending, basically Windows server is extending server extending computer extending hardware extending configuration item. So server is nothing but the uh, configuration item itself. Okay, so in our example we'll consider this. Okay, application server help desk and test circuit we'll consider. Okay, so now let's go and create a new relationship. Okay, so here, so I'll say parent is application server help desk. Okay, and then child is test circuit, for example. Okay, now in here I can select the relationship types. Okay, basically there are total 40 relationship types here in this table, CMDB rel underscore type. So we can select we can select the we can select any relationship type basically. Okay, so I'll say okay, so this is how we can create the relationships here. Okay, now if I open this server. Okay, okay, so in server we have this plus icon here. Okay, so we can click on this plus. Okay, to create this opens the relationship editor. Here we can create the uh, so here we can create the CI relationships. Okay, now here again we can see the relationship types. Okay, now these blue are there, uh, there are 10 blue relationship types here. So these relationship types are suggested relationship types, which we'll discuss in some time. Okay, and the remaining ones are all the relationship types. Okay, out of 40, these 10 are suggested relationships, remaining all are the relationship types. Okay, we can select any one of this. For example, I'll select this, like how we selected here in this case. We selected this, right, applicative flow and this. So we can select that. Okay, and we can select one item. Okay, now we'll say this is when I say child, right, so it means this becomes child. When in bracket there is child, right, so this becomes child. Okay, and whatever we select here from the other configuration items, that becomes parent. Okay, now to add it, we have plus icon here, so I'll just click on plus, so that gets added here. Okay, now we can see the application server help desk is added as child, and this any IBM which I has selected, that added as parent. Okay, now this is the relationship which we have created earlier, that is also getting shown here. Okay, now this is the newly added relationship. Now I can click on save and I can stay here, or I can click on save and exit. Okay, and I'll just click on this. Okay, so now if I go to CI relationships table, let me just go back. Okay, now we can see these are the two relationships which are created now. Okay, we created these two relationships. Yeah, so this is how we can create the relationship. One, clicking on new button from CI relationships table directly. Second, using the relationship editor, uh, using this plus icon. Okay, okay, so now let's discuss suggested relationships, and let's use suggested relationships to create the CI relationships using a relationship editor and using the script. Okay, okay, let's go to the suggested relationships table, that is CMDB underscore rel underscore type underscore suggest. Okay, so here we have fields like base class and dependent class and the relationship. Okay, these three are important here. Okay, now we can take the example of server here. Okay, let's add the filter that is base class is server. Okay, base class is server. Now let's add this, and we can say dependent class is circuit here. Okay, now let me just duplicate and check if there is a reverse there, like base class is circuit and dependent class is server. So base class is circuit and dependent class is server. Okay, so we have that relationship as well here. Okay, so now we can see when this is powered by child, right? So it means a base class is a child. Okay, so when in bracket if we have parent, it means base class is parent. Okay, so in relationship in bracket whatever we have, like if we have parent, then base class is parent and dependent class is child. uh, and this is other way around. If we have child in brackets, then base class is child and dependent class is circuit. Okay, now there is one more field here called child. It says true when it is bracket, right? The child field is true, it means the base class is the child here. Okay, and here if we can see child is false, it means the base class is not child, dependent class is child. Okay, so it is dependent on the relationship. Okay, whether base class is parent or child and dependent class is parent or child. Okay, now here we have the relationship type. This is exactly what we have here in this type field. Okay, this is the reference to relationship type table, and the same reference is here. Okay, so what we are saying is when base class is circuit and dependent class is server, so this is the relationship suggested, that is powers and powered by. Okay, and for reverse also that is true. Okay, so now let's go to this uh, server. Let me open this server. Okay, okay, and I'll click on plus here. Okay, now it shows the suggested relationships here. Okay, so we can see a powered by child here, so that is nothing but this. We can see this is powered by child. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll remove this dependent class. Okay, and I'll group by relationships. Okay, so now we can see used by child. Okay, so we can see used by child should be here, used by child is here. Okay, now I can say a host child. Okay, now host child should be here. Yeah, host child is here. Okay, and runs child receives data from parent. Okay, so we can see receives data from parent is here, and runs child is here. Okay, now there are some more as well here, like for example we can say instantiates parent. Okay, so that is not present here. Okay, but then also that is visible in the suggested relationship. It's because the server's parent class, that is computer, that has such relationship. Okay, so if I open computer, I say base class is computer, so that time I can see that there is this instantiates parent. Okay, so that's why we can see the instantiate parent here. Okay, so now let's go back again to the server. Okay, now I'll say server. Okay, now here we can notice earlier when we created the CI relationship, we selected this applicative flow from. Okay, okay, now you notice this is the filter. Okay, this is the filter where we can select the other configuration items. Okay, for example, if I want to add anything here, like for example I'll say uh, class is, okay, circuit. Okay, now I had to apply this class, right, and I'll run the filter. Okay, now test circuit will be visible. So what we are doing is we are creating the relationship with application server help desk with test circuit, and the relationship type is this. Okay, now this filter we need to add here. Okay, but I'll just remove this. Okay, and when we select the suggested relationship, for example depends on, okay, that time you can notice this class is added by itself. Okay, now how this is added, how it identifies computer and computer peripheral, that is based on here. Okay, so I'll say it is depends on, right? Okay, now in this list depends on is not present here because that is present in the computer. Okay, so I'll say computer base class is computer. So when I say that, and in depends on, I can see the dependent class is computer and computer peripheral. Okay, now if we go here, so we can see uh, for depends on, it is computer and computer peripheral. Okay, depends on computer and computer peripheral. If I select hosts child, we can see cluster and cluster node and database is there. So let me just go back to base class server. Okay, now host child, so that time we have cluster and database. Okay, these two are the dependent classes, that's why those two classes are added to the filter directly. Okay, now if I go to, for example, this one, powered by child, then a circuit is the dependent class, right? So I'll go to powered by child. So now we see circuit is added here. Okay, and that circuit is shown here. Okay, okay, now when we select powered by, along with circuit, rack is also added. Now the question is why rack is added, because only circuit is here for powered by child. The answer is simple. Okay, so from server, circuit is coming as dependent class. If we add computer, that is its parent, for computer as well, there is one powered by child relationship, suggested relationship powered by child. So here it is rack. Okay, so when we selected depends on, both the classes added were of computer. When we selected host, that time both the classes added were from server. Now when we selected powered by, the circuit is from server and the rack is from computer. Okay, now this filter is applied. Now if you want to create the relationship with circuit, so I'll just select circuit and I'll click on plus. Okay, and then we can see here, now test circuit is parent. Okay, it's because this relationship in bracket, it is child, it means the one, this application server help text is the child. Okay, and test circuit is the parent. Okay, now I'll just click on save and exit. Okay, now let's open CI relationships table. Okay, now let me just refresh this. Okay, so now this is the new relationship which is created here. Okay, now let me delete these three relationships newly created. Let me just add the filter here, created on today. Okay, so these are the three relationships we created manually using a new button on ci relationships and using relationship editor and using suggested relationships. Okay, now what we will do is we will create the, let me just remove these all tabs. Okay, I'll just keep this. Yeah, I'll just keep this also. Remove this and this. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll create the ci relationships using the script. Okay, now I have written the script here, so I'll just remove this. I'll paste that. Okay, so the script is very simple. So we are inserting the relationships. Okay, now the parent is circuit. For example, I'll copy this id, as that is the reference field we need this id, right? So this is the circuit and this is server, and the server we selected is this. So I'll just copy the sys id and let's see whether the sys id is same or not. Yeah, it is same. Okay, now if we know the type, then what we would have done is the fixed type. If we know, then what we'll do is we'll just a dot type, and then what we'll do is we'll add the uh, sys id of the type here. Okay, sys id of the type. Okay, but as we want to create it using the suggested relationship, right? So what we will do is yeah, we will have one function. Okay, okay, so we will have one function called get suggested relationship type. Okay, so to that we'll pass the parent class. So parent class is what? Circuit. Okay, and we'll pass the child class, that is the server. Okay, now we'll pass parent class and child class. So what we'll do, we'll go to the suggested relationship table. We'll search first by base class as parent class and dependent class as child class. Okay, and if we find this, then what we'll do is we'll return the relationship type present there. Okay, so let me open the table again. Let me go to this. Okay, so let's add server and circuit again. Base class as server. Okay, and this is circuit. Okay, or it is the other way around. Okay, so it will return this field. Okay, this is the sysID of relationship type. Okay, so what we want in this type field, what we want is the sysID of the relationship type, right? So if it finds this, then it returns that sysID, and the type will be created. Okay, if we don't find that, okay, then we'll just reverse it. Okay, here first we added a parent class as the base class and child class as the dependent class, so we'll reverse that. Now we'll check with base class as child class and dependent class as parent class. Okay, now if we find that, then we'll return the sysID relationship type present in that record. Okay, if we don't find, then we'll return empty. Okay, so let's try to run this script. Okay, it has created one CI relationship. Now I'll go here and I'll just refresh this. Okay, so one CI relationship is created. Okay, test circuit powers and powered by application server. Okay, so if we go to this, so we can see this is the relationship type present here. Okay, so this is how we can use suggested relationships to create the CI relationships. Okay, so this is all about configuration items, CI relationships, CI relationship types, and suggested relationships. So if you like this video, then please hit the thumb icon and share the video with others, and please subscribe the channel for more videos like this. Thank you.